Hello and welcome to another IELTS essay video. If you're on YouTube, you can click on the link below and go to the sample answer to this question. Now, this is just a brainstorming exercise which is extremely important before you write an answer. So I usually suggest spending about 10 minutes to brainstorm on the topic and create a structure. Once this is done, you should spend 30 minutes to write the answer and do not deviate from this structure. Okay, with this in mind, let us begin the process. The question is, the old tradition of a family having a meal together is disappearing. Why do you think this is happening? What are the reasons? So this question is about the reasons. What are the reasons behind this emerging phenomena, and how does it affect individuals and communities? So both individuals impact on individuals and communities. So you have to talk about the impacts. Once you have understood the question, it is time to move to the structure. Ideally, it should be an introduction, which during brainstorming you should decide at the end. You should never decide what exactly to write in introduction before writing the body paragraphs. So your first step should be writing body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and finally the conclusion. Let us think about body paragraph 1. What should body paragraph 1 be about? Ideally, it should be about the reasons. What are the reasons behind this phenomena? That is, answer this question. Why do you think this is happening? Okay, and body paragraph 2 should be on how does it affect individuals and community. It should be about impacts. Let me change the color and yeah. Let us talk about the reasons. Why do you think this is happening? Well, you should talk about at least 2 reasons and explain them. Both mention the idea, mention the 2 reasons, and explain the 2 reasons. So what should be the structure? Structure should be idea 1, that is reason 1, then explain it. Then you should write idea 2, that is reason 2, and explain it. If possible, give an example at the end of this paragraph. That will be great. Okay, why do you think this is happening? Why is the old tradition of having a family meal together disappearing from the scene? Well, the first reason that I can think of is that the work timings, the business hours, or the work timings have changed dramatically with the transformation of the world around us and industrialization, a lot of changes in technology. People are working during the night. People are working during the night. And this has changed the timings. Um, Children are no longer able to have meals with their parents, and this is because they are working late into the night, and while their parents have different work schedules. So you can explain this by explaining about the work timings that they work during odd times that their parents cannot match. The biological clock, basically the sleeping patterns. Idea number 2 is that the world is becoming more individualistic. As you can see these days, that people are more engaged in the internet. During explanation, you can write that people are more engaged in the internet, in their own smartphones, and they're less careful about people around them. So, consequently, nobody is able to spend time with the family members, with siblings, parents, because they're more engaged in themselves. So, you can blame consumerism, you can write about consumerism, increasing pursuit of materialism as a reason behind this. And then you can write an example about North America. This is what I've seen in North America. This is not worth writing, but I've seen in North America that children during their birthdays rarely engage with their parents. They rarely invite them on the birthday parties. This is unimaginable in Eastern cultures. If a child has a birthday, he or she, um, an adult, a grown person, will definitely never forget inviting the parents. So this is a cultural gap, and this is witnessed in Western cultures, and gradually it is moving towards the Eastern cultures as well. Now, having discussed the reasons, let us discuss the impacts. What impacts could this phenomenon of eating alone or not eating with family members have on culture or individuals and community? All right, so the first and the greatest impact is, again, this is idea one, and you have to explain it. Even if you explain it in one sentence, that is enough. So, idea one is that it is weakening the social fabric, the unity, the integrity, the bond of love and care. The bond of love and care is weakening. So, the family is no longer one unit. The unity, integrity, this is weakening. So, this is not cultural integrity, or this is not moral integrity. This is about integrity among people. Um, Love and care is falling. Simply eating food together improves the bond of love and care people have towards each other. They serve food to each other, and when they eat together, it promotes unity. So there's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of interaction together when they eat meals, and this interaction promotes the bond of love, care, unity, and integrity. Just explain in one single sentence. Number two, what other impact could it have? So first is on the family structure. So that comes under community as well as individuals. Secondly, the idea number two, uh, eating food together helps in transmitting culture. So cultural values. It helps in maintaining a unique identity of a particular culture. So, if people eat meals together during interaction or during communication, they transmit their culture to each other. In fact, having food together itself is a part of culture. So, if this cultural value dilutes, it leads to erosion of cultural norms, other cultural norms as well, other cultural norms, which is um, which eventually leads to disintegration of a particular culture. And this finally leads to this is an explanation. This is an explanation, and this finally leads to the westernization of all cultures. The westernization of all cultures. And what is the final impact? So this is idea one explained in sentence one, idea explanation of two, explanation of one, I'm sorry, in sentence two. This is sentence three, sentence four. Let us come to sentence five. Let us write another idea. This is on individuals. So first is impact on individuals as well as community. This is impact on the community as a whole. So these are cultural norms of the entire society. And this is idea three. What is the impact on individuals? Well, individuals, due to isolation, when you're having meals together, you're having lesser interactions, lesser sharing of your griefs and your happiness, and this finally results in isolation. This isolation often is the cause of various mental disorders or various psychological problems. Various psychological problems such as depression, anxiety. There are a number of things that finally it finally results in lesser social interaction. Often also results in Alzheimer's disease. There are various studies. However, you can stick yourself to depression, anxiety, and increasing stress due to not sharing of your feelings. Okay, so these are the three major impacts. Having discussed the reasons and the impacts, it's time to come to the introduction. What exactly should the introduction be? Well, the introduction, let me write over here. The introduction should have three things. First of all, a general statement or a general sentence, and this should be on the main theme of the question. So the main theme is having a meal together. So you need to write one sentence on the importance of having meals together, or that various cultures prefer having meal together, and this cultural norm is gradually eroding. Now, what are the reasons? Then, once you have mentioned that it is gradually eroding in this general statement, you need to switch to the reasons. This can be due to several reasons. Mentioned reason number one, that is idea one, idea two, both of them in the same sentence as I have done in the sample introduction below, and then mention some of the impacts. So whatever you're going to discuss in body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, it needs to be mentioned over here. So what are the impacts? Within impacts, mention idea 1, 2, as well as 3. This is the end of your introduction. That's it. There's nothing special. But once you have, until and unless you have not decided what to write in body paragraphs, you cannot decide what to write in introduction. Writing introduction without thinking about body paragraphs is a bad strategy. Having said this, I think conclusion is not much of an issue. You can definitely go to my conclusion, make it a bit more futuristic. Or if you don't want to write futuristic conclusion, paraphrase your ideas and conclude the essay. I hope you liked the video. Go through the answer below, or if you're watching this on YouTube, click on the link below and go to the page, read the sample answer. Please share this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.